Assalamu alaikum students. Today I will discuss some common barriers to effective communication. Whenever we communicate with other persons in any setup, we may find sometimes certain types of problems or barriers while communicating with others. See what are these common barriers to effective communication. The process of communication has multiple barriers. The intended communication will often be disturbed and distorted, leading to a condition of misunderstanding and failure of communication. The barriers to effective communication could be of many types, like linguistic, psychological, emotional, physical, and cultural, etc. See what are these uh, barriers to effective communication. First of all, there are linguistic barriers. The language barrier is one of the main barriers that limits effective communication. Language is the most commonly employed tool of communication. The fact that each major region has its own language is one of the barriers to effective communication. Sometimes even a thick dialect may render the communication ineffective. As per some estimates, the dialects of every two regions changes within a few kilometers. Even in the same workplace, different employees will have different linguistic skills. As a result, the communication channels that span across the organization would be affected by this. Thus, keeping this barrier in mind, different considerations have to be made for different employees. Some of them are very proficient in a certain language, and others will be okay with these languages. Next, we may face certain types of psychological barriers while communicating with others. There are various mental and psychological issues that may be barriers through effective communication. Some people have stage fear, speech disorders, phobia, depression, etc. All of these conditions are very difficult to manage sometimes and will most certainly limit the ease of communication. In stage fears, not all the people feel very comfortable while addressing the others. Similarly, some persons have speech disorders, for this disability they feel hesitant while speaking to others, while some of the people have certain type of phobia and depression, and when they will be under depression they will be unable to speak to others. Emotional barriers. The emotional IQ of a person determines the ease and comfort with which they can communicate. A person who is emotionally mature will be able to communicate effectively. On the other hand, people who let their emotions take over will face certain difficulties. A perfect mixture of emotions and facts is necessary for effective communication. Emotions like anger, frustration, humor can blur the decision making capacities of a person and thus limit the effectiveness of their communication. Apart from emotional barriers, there are physical barriers to communication. They are the most obvious barriers to effective communication, and these barriers are mostly easily removable in principle, at least. They include barriers like noise, closed doors, faulty equipments used for communication, closed cabins, and sometimes in a large office the physical separation between various employees combined with faulty equipment may result in severe barriers to effective communication. Then there are cultural barriers of communication. As the world is getting more and more globalized, any large office may have people from several parts of the world, and different cultures have a different meaning for several basic values of society. Dressing, religions, or lack of them, food, drinks, pets, and the general behavior will change drastically from one culture to another. Hence, it's a must it's necessary that we must take these different cultures into account while communicating to others. This is what we call being culturally appropriate. In many multinational companies, special courses are offered at the orientation stages that let people know about other cultures and how to be courteous and tolerant of others. Then there are organizational structure barriers. There are many methods of communication at an organization level. Each of these methods has its own problems and constraints that may become barriers to effective communication. Most of these barriers arise because of misinformation or lack of appropriate transparency available to the employees. Uh, there are certain other barriers that are related to our attitude. Certain people like to be left alone. They are the introverts or just people who are not very social. Others like to be social or sometimes extra clingy. Both these cases could become a barrier to communication. Some people have attitude issues like huge ego and inconsiderate behaviors. Then the other barriers which may be faced while communicating with others is the use of jargon. Overcomplicated and unfamiliar and technical terms are called jargon. Emotional barriers and taboos. Some people may find it difficult to express their emotions, and some topics may be completely off limits or considered as a taboo. Taboo or difficult topics may include, but are not limited to, politics, religions, disabilities, either mental or physical, sexuality and sex, racism, and any opinion that may be seen as unpopular can be considered in the category of jargon. Lack of attention, interest, distractions, or irrelevance to the receiver, difference in perception and viewpoint, physical disabilities such as hearing problems or speech difficulties, physical barriers to nonverbal communication, not being able to see the nonverbal cues, gestures, posture, and general body language can make communication less effective. Similarly, phone calls, text messages, and other communication methods that rely on technology are often less effective than face to face communication. Language differences and the difficulty in understanding unfamiliar accents, expectations, and prejudices, which may lead to false assumptions or stereotyping. People often hear what they expect to hear rather than what is actually said and jump to incorrect conclusions. Then there are cultural differences, which may be the cause of barrier to communication. The norms of social interaction vary greatly in different cultures as to the way in which emotions are expressed. For example, the concept of personal space varies between cultures and between different social settings. So, in this figure, you can see um, almost all the barriers to communications. Here are physical environmental barriers that are caused by time, place, space, climate, noise, and choice of medium. Then there are barriers caused by wrong choice of medium. Then there are semantic barriers caused by varied connotative meanings. Then there are cultural barriers caused by diversity of cultures. Psychological attitudinal barriers are caused by moods, attitudes, relationships, and barriers caused by varying perception of reality. These are mostly caused by levels of understanding and comprehension. Thank you.